Hi, this is Ilma Art Studios photograph for today. The lake in Orangeville, Cold Island Lake, in the summer. Hi, check my website at ilmaarts.com for more artworks and photographs. That's ilmaarts.com. Today I'd like to share with you my poem devotional extracted from 1 Corinthians 10 verse 24. It says, "Don't be concerned for your own good, but for the good of others." And here's my poem. Concern for others. Are you only concerned for your own sake? Do you think of others, or do you just take? Whenever we do things without consideration, we are not serving Christ or giving compassion. Are your intentions geared only for pleasing yourself? Do you thoughtfully think of others and help? Christ generously loves and cares for others. Are you also blessing your sisters and brothers? Here's my essay. How many people are really concerned about others rather than their own selves? In our world today, so much focus is about the satisfaction of the self. Each time we are presented with choices and decisions, aren't they always about what will be good for our own sake rather than the good of others? Our fallen nature's default is to self-protect and self-care. It is only by the grace of God that we can be dead to the desires of our own flesh, and only in His mercy can we bask at how He can transform our fallen nature into His righteousness. Think of how much of your choices geared towards concern for others. The Bible tells us that we have to be concerned for the good of others. Prayer. Lord, convict me of selfishness. Reflection. Why does God want us to focus more on others than ourselves? Yeah, if you notice that the Bible tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves. How its phrase is talking more about the neighbors first than ourselves, but actually they're synonymous. In other words, if we are able to do good for others, that we are also doing good for ourselves, or vice versa. But most of the time, the priorities of people is to do good for ourselves first. Whenever I know our default, like when we're children, if you just watch children, how it's always about them. I remember my granddaughter is always like, tells me like, is that for me? You know, it's not about thinking of others first. It's always like taking. Our selfish nature, which is our nature, is just wanting to always think about the self. What's good for me? You know, what will benefit me from this action, or from this transaction. It's always about me, never about others. But in the Bible, if you notice that it's always talking about others, not the me. You know, it's always talking about God, not me. I'm not saying that you don't have to take care of yourself, but we ought to take care of ourselves, but we also ought to take care of others as we take care of ourselves. That's what God's commandment is, to love your neighbors as you love yourself. So first love God above all, then love your neighbors as you love yourself. So in other words, the only way we can love our neighbors is also if we love ourselves. But if we love ourselves too much, that stops us from loving our neighbor, then that is not what God wants us to do. So I challenge you to think of your relationships. Are all the things, or are the boundaries in your relationship focused on you getting more or you giving to others. I think that's a good gauge to find out whether you are actually genuinely concerned for other people, or just or some people just use others to get what they want, and when they don't get what they want, get rebellious, or they run away from the relationship just because they don't get what they want for themselves. So thanks for watching, and I hope you check my website at ilmaarts.com for more artworks and photographs. Still very cold in Orangeville. It's already the end of April, and we're still sometimes getting a zero or like a minus this past 2 weeks. But hopefully it will warm up. Like yesterday, I brought my granddaughter. My husband and I went to a nice park in Guelph, and it was still very chilly. So we were planning to do a picnic, but our picnic got shortened by the, even if the sun was out, it's supposed to be +10, but it feels like almost zero. So with the wind chill, that becomes almost minus. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the spring if you are in a country with the 4 seasons, or if you are in a country like my country of origin, the Philippines. I'm sure it's still very nice and warm today there. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.